So I've went through the basics, but now let's actually go through some of the rules of the tournaments. So this week is going to be the general rules in VGC because they can both be done in a rather short time, whereas the TCG rules are a bit more extensive, so that will get its own episode. Um, so I guess without any further ado, easy intro, let's just get this started. So the general rules are pretty simple, it's just what you would expect from any tournament. It's mostly, be a good sportsman, make sure that everything you have, will show that you're not cheating. So, with TCG, I know one of the rules is that you can't have any, miscolored or marked, what are they called? The card thingies. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, okay. And with VGC, it's mostly just, don't cheat. That will get its own episode. That will actually get an episode just before the London Internationals, because there's a lot to talk about with that. So, yeah, mostly just, make sure everything you have isn't cheating. Be a good sport, which is just, if you lose, don't be like, oh, I obviously lost because this person has a 5 IV'd Garchomp or has a really powerful Mega Ordino card. No, shush. Just take the loss, take the L, and be happy with it, cause you may have been beaten by a potential, champion, so, just live with the fact that you lost, it happens. And another one, which I guess is technically VGC, but they do say it's in the general rules for whatever reason. If you have headphones or earphones, they have to be visible and, visibly plugged into your DS in this case. It shouldn't be plugged into your phone or anything else because they'll see it as a way of you getting information that you shouldn't be getting. So, just a quick warning with that. So, you might hear a few mouse clicks because I'm pulling up the rules right now. The rules for VGC are also rather interesting this time, I think, personally, because we're going into the 2017 season, so it's going to be mostly, only Sun and Moon. So, if you don't like Sun and Moon, or, you don't have Sun and Moon so far, sorry about that, you don't really have much of a choice. So, first rule is obviously, all battles are going to be played with Pokemon Sun or Pokemon Moon. You cannot use Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire because they want to use the Alola Regional Pokedex, which I think is the second rule. So that means anything that you find in the Alola region is allowed, so you can find Ledybuzz, I think. They showed that off rather early on, that you can find a few Ledybuzz. You can use Ledian if you wanted to, but you can't use, Empoleon, because Empoleon will be not in the Pokedex because it's a starter. Easy choice. Next rule, if I can find it, because it seems to be mixed up all over the place. Oh, yeah, double battles. That's pretty obvious, though. All VGC tournaments so far have been double battles, and it's because it's faster and it takes more strategy. People complain that it's supposed to be single battles. Ooh, 6v6 singles. Yeah, no, those take too long and can be rather boring to watch. Whereas the VGC 2v2 4 Pokemon on the side can be rather fast and rather interesting because you get to see how people's brains are working. I think, anyway. Introducing a new introduction to Gen 7 is the Z Crystals, which is going to be allowed in the tournament as well. I think it might be limited to one Pokemon. I don't know quite yet, because we don't know how powerful Z moves are supposed to be. It just says that Z Crystals are allowed. The next rule, however, is that Mega Stones aren't allowed. No Mega Pokemon at all, which means that if Kangaskhan is in the Alolan Pokedex, it is absolutely screwed and will not see any playtime this year, which actually makes me so happy. I know that it's a weird thing to be happy about, but because Megas have been kind of saturating the metagame for VGC, it's rather interesting to see that now people have to go, ooh, let me think about my team not based around this Pokemon, but around, I don't know, Crobat or something. I don't know. Crobat's pretty fun. Next rule, which, thank God, because last year was just interesting, to say the least. No legendaries, no mythical Pokemon. So, if your Pokemon is legendary, so no Solgaleo, no Lunala, because those things are pretty much Smogon, Uber. We don't need to talk about that. Like, ooh, thank God that they are gone. Don't have to deal with those anymore. Whew. That just makes me happy. Now, this is a rule that I actually want to get rather into. There is a 10-minute player time system. Now, this means that within the battle time that you have, which is generally 15 minutes, you actually have overall 10 minutes to pick your moves. Which is basically there so that people don't store. Like, there's been a few accusations of a few players, in which I will not name because I don't know all of them, that have been accused that they were stalling in the World Championships of 2016. Whether you think they were stalling or not is up to you, but they've basically implemented this to be like, okay, cool, we don't want people to stall anymore. We want people to know that if you don't make your moves in enough time, you'll either lose or it will go to a draw. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it might be if you don't make the moves in enough time, you lose. But I'm not quite sure. We're going to see how it's implemented in 2017. Actually, there was a London Regionals earlier this month in November. Not quite sure how that went, but apparently Top 32 was interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Next episode is going to be the TCG rules. I'm rather sick, so if this doesn't sound as interesting as the last episode was, that's why. I am not feeling it right now. I just made this really quickly so that I knew that an episode was gonna come out this week. Words are hard. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Next week is going to be TCG rules, which will be a lot more interesting and with actually a live sounding me. Hope you all have a very nice day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.